Hey guys, welcome to this video. This is the tutorial for a do-it-yourself cookie decorating kit. So in this part of the video, the first part, I'm just showing you what you'll need. This is a box, obviously. This box is actually a cupcake box with a window, so it would fit a dozen cupcakes. You could do a smaller one. It just happened to be what I had on hand. Then you're going to need this crinkle cut paper filler that you would find in gift baskets. I've created some marketing materials and also just a little quick instruction sheet to include for the customer so they have a little bit of guidance, but not too much because you want them to be creative. And you'll see that I'm actually putting this into a clear, resealable bag. This is nice because it's going to keep all of that together and keep it clean. The next thing you are going to need is disposable piping bags. These are 12-inch. They're a little heavier duty. You can get ones that are lighter weight, but I really like these because I use American buttercream and I find that they stand up well. You could also put Royal in them. We've also got a treat bag. This is a bag that is compatible with a heat sealer, which I'm also going to show in this video. You don't have to have a heat sealer. I just happen to have one and I really like it. It gives a nice professional touch. You're also going to want to use a food scale. And then I've got a tall, skinny glass. I'll show you why we're using that later. And then these are little 3 1/4 ounce condiment cups. You can order these online. I got mine from Webstaurant and webstaurant.com, and they're just really nice. Those are going to hold our sprinkle mixes. And then you're also going to need your pre-baked cookies. So in this tutorial, I've got 6 cookies. And then our sprinkles, since this is a Valentine's Day theme, we're using red and white. I find that about 1 tablespoon of sprinkles is about good for each little container. And if you're like me, you have a bazillion different sprinkles in your collection. So I'm just going to throw together some cute, fun little mixes to add to this. And so now it's time to put it together. So I've got my hands gloved up. I've got my pre-baked cookies, again, since it's a Valentine's theme. Then we've got our treat bag. So I am just going to go ahead and put all of these cookies into one treat bag. This has got 6. They're kind of small. So if you were going to be including bigger cookies, you might need a few treat bags, or if you're going to do 8 to 12 cookies per box, you definitely want more than just one treat bag. But this seems to work well for 6, so I'm just very gently placing them in there. These cookies are cool, by the way. They were baked and cooled to a cold temperature. You don't want to bag cookies that are still warm because you'll get condensation in the bag and then they'll be soggy and more potential for mold if they don't use the cookie decorating kit right away. So in this part of the video, I'm just using my heat sealer to seal the bag. This is a product I bought off Amazon. You don't have to use it. You could just fold the treat bag over and just use a piece of tape to close it, or even just twist it with a twist tie. But I like to use the heat sealer, A, because I have it, and B, I just feel like it gives a really nice professional look. So I've got the heat setting on 3. You'd look on your bags what's compatible. The next step is to load your disposable piping bags. So what I've done is I loaded one of my reusable piping bags with my American buttercream. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold down the disposable piping bag and use that tall, skinny glass just to hold it. You can load your piping bags with just a spatula or a spoon. I just found that when I did it the first time, it was really messy. And I just thought, you know what? If I just preload a piping bag with a round tip, I can just squeeze it into that disposable bag, and then I have a little more control over where the icing's going to go. So I'm just squirting that in. I find that about 2.5 ounces of icing per bag is about right. I've overshot just a little bit, but that's okay. On this box, I'm including 3 different colors of icing. So in each bag, I've got about 2.5 ounces of American buttercream. You can use royal icing if you want, or whatever recipe you like. And then what I'm doing here is I'm just gently kind of working that icing down to the bottom of the bag and just smoothing it out, trying to get all the air out of it. And then I'm going to twist it. I'm leaving a little bit of room where I've twisted it because when the customer gets the box and they're ready to use it, they're going to need a little bit of room in there to kind of work that icing with their hands to, kind of smooth it out, get it to room temperature. So I'm just sealing it with just a twist tie with a little bit of room. And as I said, I've got 2 other colors of icing that I'm including in the bag. So those were preloaded, and I did the same method using a preloaded piping bag of my own to fill it. And now we are back to our condiment cups. I originally bought these off Webstaurant to put little bite-sized samples of cake bites that I take to either wedding expos or farmers markets. So I just have a huge box of them, and I realized when I was doing these cookie kits that what a great way to store the sprinkles. So I have a bunch of those on hand. And the nice thing is they're just resealable. So if your customer doesn't use all the sprinkles, they can just save them, easily store them in a drawer or cupboard. So I've put about a tablespoon of sprinkles into each little container. And again, it's up to you what different sprinkle mixes you want to include. I found these cute little candy hearts, I think at, Michael's or Hobby Lobby. They were really cute. So I picked those up. So I thought I'd just throw some of those in. And then, let's see, I've gotten my red jimmies. I'm going to add, these are little white kind of confetti sugar dots. I thought those were cute. Just kind of mix them in. Get creative. And if you buy pre-mixed sprinkle mixes like from Sprinkle Pop or any of the other companies that sell the really cool sprinkle mixes, feel free to do that. But I just always have so many different types of sprinkles and sugar pearls and nonpareils and sanding sugar that I like to mix my own. I don't know. I feel like it brings in that little element of play that I like about sugar art. So this one I'm just topping it off with a little bit of red sanding sugar. So I'm just going to dump that. Again, it's about a tablespoon total. So I just dump it in and stir it up, mix it up. And it's just kind of a fun little mix. And your customer could even mix them together once they get the box. It's really up to them. And I like to give them as much creative license as possible because I think that's really the fun part. And then these are those little chocolate pearls that are covered in a kind of a pearlized confectionery coating, kind of like what M&Ms have, or sixlets. So I just thought it'd be fun to throw some of those in. So I've got 4 different sprinkle mixes ready to go in the box. So the lids are all snapped on. And that's that for the sprinkles. So I'm just clearing the space here so that we can now put it all together. So we've sealed our cookies, we've done our icing bags and our sprinkle mixes. and even our directions and marketing materials. So now it's time to just put it all together. So I've got this box, which, as I mentioned, is it's a size that would fit a dozen cupcakes. You can also buy pie boxes. They're a little shorter. They're not as tall, depending on how much you're putting in there. You might want a little shorter box. But this one, if I had had more of that crinkle cut paper, it would have been better. This is a little light. You don't also have to use the crinkle cut paper. You can use parchment paper crinkled up. You can use tissue paper, just something that looks nice but then also is functional. It's really meant to just keep everything from sliding all over the box. So I've got my cookies in there, my sprinkles, and my directions, and then I'm just neatly folding the bags of icing so they look nice, and I'm just putting them in kind of offset so they sit together nicely. And again, you might have to kind of rearrange. I feel like if I'd put a little bit more of that crinkle cut in there to hold things together, it would have been better. But that's pretty much it. Everything's in there. Just a couple final steps. I have pre-printed labels that have my logo and my website. I like to put that on the front of the window. And then these are just those little white sticker dots that you can get at office supply stores just to seal the box. You don't have to do this. I just feel like it's a nice little step. I feel like when people do things, it's nice to unbox them. So there you have it. Your cookie box is ready to go. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Be sure to subscribe for more tutorials and cake business tips, and find us at cakebusinessschool.com.